Hi everyone, this is Tara. Welcome back to my channel. So yesterday we ended with figuring out which types of trims and edgings and lace and stuff we wanted to use on our cover. We had placed down a few of these flowers on the front and the back. We had glued in our pockets. And so today I wanted to come along and I started thinking about it. I looked at this closure I made. It is a slightly bit short. I can make it work. However, I was thinking it might be more fun to use this, utilize it inside the journal as pockets throughout the journal. So I'm probably going to set that aside because I remembered that I had this wonderful netting. It's super soft. I had bought it a few, well, maybe like a month or two ago at a thrift store, and it was a dress, and I took it apart. And you know, we've all probably heard Tina talk about doing that with her daughter's dresses. And so when I saw this stuff, I was like, oh yeah, and it's super, super soft. It's really the kind that'll drape really nice against the journal and everything. So I figured let's use this as our closure, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead. I already cut it down, and I made it about, I don't know, 6-7 inches wide, okay? And I'm just gonna, it's got a seam here where it was sewn together in the skirt portion, and I'm gonna fold it over a couple of times so that it's about 1/3 of what it was, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the seam portion on the spine, and I've cut it so that it's about even for that. And that way I can go ahead, I'm gonna glue that down before I do anything else. And I'm gonna use the hot glue. It'll dry quicker and it'll be very secure. Okay. So we're going to do that and get this down first today. And I'm going to use my dry wipe and press on that. Okay. A little bit crooked. Let's pull it before it has a chance to dry too much. Plus, we are going to cover this part. This spine will be covered, so you don't really have to worry. It does not need to be perfect, okay? Now I could have made it so that you could untie it and just sit it aside, but I wanted to lay it out, and it's going to be, I wanted to make sure we had enough for decorating the journal, because eventually, you know, it'll be a bit of a crocodile mouth, and so I wanted to make sure. See, yeah, there we go, like that. That's going to be our closure, okay? So now what I have to decide is if I want to have this be back here. I think I'm going to go ahead and secure this to the base and then decorate on top of this closure, okay? And then that way, when the person, whoever purchases the journal, you know, it'll be there, but it'll be secure, and they don't have to worry about it flopping behind them or hanging down or any of that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this. Well, should I? Let's see. I was going to say I was going to use this glue for this part. It is going to have stuff glued on top of it, so it will be secure. So I guess that's okay if I just use a little bit of this for right now to get it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and get that fold back where I had it. Okay. It's being difficult. Oops, I apologize, guys. I hit the camera. Okay. Go ahead and lay that out. And I'm just going to pat that down just so it stays down. And like I said, once we get going, we are going to be gluing things like that on top, so it's going to be just fine. But right now we're just, maybe I should use the hot glue though, and maybe it'd be a little more secure. As you can tell, I am crafting with you off the cuff, like I'm just doing this like I would be by myself, trying things, hoping they work. And when they don't work exactly the way I want them to, making them work. I'm sure all of you know what I'm talking about. There are times, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue this side too. There are times when we try something and it's not quite the way we intended it to come out. And that's just all a part of, you know, the fun of our craft, you know. As you get better, you know, you're more secure in what you're doing. And yes, there are those who are on here that are incredible and have already reached a point in their crafting where they know step by step. I'm not like that with everything. I do kind of come on and try things out in front of you guys. I hope that that's okay. I've mentioned before, I like videos where people make mistakes in front of me and I get to see them correct that mistake and figure out what'll be better, you know. It helps me along in my process as well. So I'm still going to put this piece here and I'm going to put one on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this down so that it's more even. Let me see. Okay, little tiny bit more here on this side. I of course don't want to take off too much, but I want it to kind of ride right on the inside of what hangs over these little squares. That's why I'm trying to make sure I keep my hands and my work in your viewfinder. I know I'm still learning that once in a while my hands are too far back here and you can't really see what I'm doing. So there's a little tiny bit more here. I don't want this part hanging over the edge, that's all. Okay, there we go, that's right. Now I'm going to cut the other piece for the back so that it's the right size and I don't have to go through, where did I do with it? I have got a pile of stuff over here. I am filming this second half in the same day. And so everything's kind of, I thought I had a piece. Oh well, we'll use this. And I'll lay that out. And we're just gonna, okay. Alright. So that's for the front and the back. And as I said earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and probably lay this first. And then I'm gonna lay out the other things on top. Okay, just making sure. Yeah. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this down. And this I am going to use this glue with. This lace is such that it's basically the same on both sides, but I do think this is probably the correct side to have up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run a strip of this glue along here first. Sometimes I find it easier to put the glue directly on the base of whatever I'm gluing something to than to actually run it along the stuff I'm gluing down. I just want to make sure I get this down. Again, using my dry wipe. And I'm bringing that right up to the edge of your spine. If you can see that. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little more. Now that I've got it down, I can see where it goes. Okay. I hope everyone's having a great day today. I think this video will be coming out on Monday, so have a wonderful week. I'm going to not put any glue here. I don't want, I've done that before, and I don't want the glue to, you know, show. Even though it dries clear, it kind of leaves a line, and it just don't look good. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and begin to build the other things here. I think I had one of these, yeah. And I still haven't decided. This would look really pretty right here in the center, wouldn't it? What do you guys think? It's kind of nice. Either that or, let me see. That's pretty. That black looks very distinct down there, doesn't it? Oh, and then we did have this piece, and this is, now that I've put this into the mix, that kind of, that looks pretty. I'm not sure, but I think I even have some yo-yos. That's a little too much purple. Oh, this is nice. Look at that. I forgot I even had that. I think I only have one left. I've used them all up. Or do we like this cross? Too much to choose from. As I always say, which one, which one? Oh, that's pretty. I got like as many of those as I could find. I found a sale one day and got a bunch of those. That's pretty as well. I think that one's a little too small. Maybe it could go up in a corner or something. We shall decide in a moment. I do think I really like that, actually, in the center. So we're also going to do some of our flowers, like I said. Got 4 of them cut. I'm going to do a few more here. There's that other piece. I knew I had another piece that was cut already. Oh well, too late now, huh? Okay. And this part is kind of a hassle. I always trim this. There's a lace that comes on these, and I just take around the edge here and trim it off because I think they look nice by themselves, personally. I don't think I've tried to keep it on there, and I've never really ended up sticking with it. I always end up cutting it, so. Okay, so just gonna trim. And it totally blends into whatever you're putting it against, so it really, unless you were putting it against something really dark, it's really not gonna show. You don't have to worry about going inside of every little crease. This netting around it is really soft, like this one we've put on for our closure. I'm glad I remembered this because I've been wanting to do that on a journal forever, and I kept forgetting that I had gotten it. And I have another one I bought at the store. I bought at Hobby Lobby, Hobby Lobby, and it's a little bit stiffer. It's soft, but not quite as soft as this. This is the kind that, like I said, that goes under the dress, under the skirt. And they make that extra soft so it's against your skin, It was a super cute dress I found that I cut it off of too. I hated cutting the dress up, but it had some absolutely really cool, amazing lace, and then it had this netting, and I was like, okay, yep, you bought it for that. You didn't buy it to keep. It wouldn't have fit me right now anyway. I mean, I would have definitely had to lose weight to wear this dress. Here's some of its lace right here. See, I actually used it, I think, on one of my journals I just did here a while back. So now what I'm going to do real quick, I want to try something real fast before I go any further. I want to pull out my ink and my brush, which I know I sat over here to my right. Nope. Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. And what I want to do is grab some of these flowers because I'd like to have some of these in the background. I love these, like I said, they're fun to add. See, I have a string coming loose, so this is a good time to put a little dot of glue right there. And it's just tiny dot. I just kind of rub it with my finger, not enough to burn myself, but that grabs that string and stops it from tearing. Another spot right there. I want to make sure I don't lose these beads. I have lost so many beads. One time I actually I ran the threads back through the pearls that are on these. Oh, what a hassle. Now after, if you do end up getting any of this or something like it and you do this, these will come loose when you're rubbing on it possibly, so be prepared to definitely to get your glue out and fix them. So I just run, and I take it over the beads too and kind of change their color, and I'm using a permanent ink so that it won't come off. As you can see, I've got the archival because I want to make sure it stays. I'm going to do some of these up, and these are so fun once you get them done. You know, I've had people ask me about them and how I got my, or where I got my flowers, you know, and whatever, in the color, and I'm like, well, I actually got them white and I made them like that because I don't know where to get them with the color. If somebody happens to know where I could get a trim like this that is already pre-colored, let me know. I haven't found it. I've looked online and I have not found one exactly like this, so I just go ahead and do it myself, like we do so many things in our craft. Okay, I'm gonna do, I think I'll do like 3 for the front and 3 for the back, so I'm gonna do 6 of them. Okay. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay. I have a little straggler flower down here at the bottom I'm going to have to trim off. He doesn't have any leaves. I must have cut it wrong when I was trimming it, or maybe that's where that's the end that the lady at the store did and handed me one without any leaves on it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and trim, and I'm real careful when I trim this between so that I don't, you know, cut into anything. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim again, and I try to take it right to the end of that stem and right at the beginning of the next petal if I can. That's just how I do it. You of course do not have to do everything like I do it. It's one of the fun things about what we do as well. We have our own way that works best for us, and you know, us here on YouTube, we're just showing you our way, and maybe even just getting you started on a path of a new craft that you've not done before, you know, or inspiring you to try new things. Or there we go. So now we have our flowers, our little, and I used the color Mulberry for that. I was looking at using the Thistle. I don't think I'm going to for this journal. I think I'll probably stick with the Mulberry as more of my highlight color, only because it's a warmer with still being kind of pink, but it's got a warmer tone to it, kind of like what we're already working on. So okay, now we've got those done. I can set those aside. I've got my desk just a mess, don't I? Let's see here. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do with these. I just go ahead and pull this like that, and then usually this thing, I'm going to get my tool here real quick. See if I can, whichever one works the best for me is the one I use. And I just kind of pull on that a little bit. They usually pop off pretty easy. Okay, maybe not, of course, because I'm on camera. It's not going to do it. I have a bigger pair of wire cutters that will probably have to be pulled out here in a minute if this isn't going to cut it for me. Normally if I can get one broken off, then the second one comes off pretty easy. Nope. It's not wanting to do it. Honestly, guys, I have never struggled with these. Let me grab my my big ones here and see if I can get. Oh wait, I got it with these. Yay! Now see, once the first one comes off, the second one comes off real easy. And I just toss that and I straighten this a little bit. Okay. So if you're wanting to use barrettes or whatever, or maybe you hadn't thought about using barrettes, I saw the gems on them one time and was like, ooh, those could be, I could do something. And sure enough, you know. So I wasn't sure about using that trim that we were talking about, this one here on the last video, only because I don't think I have enough of it to really do it justice. I do have, I'm gonna hold this one up and see. I don't think it'll work. Let me see here. Sorry, I gotta find the one I'm talking about. It's here somewhere. I have so much, oh here it is. I have so much stuff here right now. I have a black trim. Isn't this pretty? I use this on one of my journals. I love it. It's so nice. I went and bought some more because I used it up. It's this one here. Now it's not white, of course. It's beige, but I was thinking to at least look at it. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could hear you guys. I kind of get an idea of what you think. Yeah, I think it's too dark, only because of our white background. So yeah, I just wanted to at least put it out there and see what I thought. Okay, so we're gonna stick with what we're doing here. So first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and put these down. I'm trying to remember which works better. I think I'll go ahead and use my hot glue, and I'll do it in sections so that the glue doesn't have a chance to dry. So I'm gonna lay that down first. I'm gonna take it, yeah, I want it at an angle. I like to take these at an angle and like meet them like I did with the other one. I think it looks kind of cool to do stuff like that, kind of like, you know, like that. So you get the full impact of this piece of cloth, of this piece of trim, without you know, because if you try to keep it together, it won't work. I've tried that too and it didn't really work. So, and as you can see now, as we're starting to add the glue, you're gonna get that it's going to lay down flatter. It's going to be sealed. All of your other stuff underneath is getting sealed down as well. And because it's the hot glue, it's going to be on there really, really good. Okay. And I'm doing it really light. I don't want to do it thick, because then you're going to have too much, you know, coming through, and you do not want that. So make sure that you kind of go lightly, you know, be careful with it. And if you need more, add more, you know, but less is more at first on this. Okay. And since we already brought this down, it's good. And now we can, I'm going to go ahead under here, not on the part that we'll be able to see. I'm just making sure this guy has this attached to everything. Okay. Let me get my other piece. And I was looking at these smaller pieces because, let's see here, I don't want to overdo it, but at the same time I want to make sure that it's very blingy and very, I told you this will get, you know, right now it looked like a patchwork quilt and it didn't look too fancy, but it starts to get more and more as you go along and you add all this, all the bling and all the fancy trims and stuff. It really starts to have a flair and look really nice. And I find that, at least for me, I love looking at those journals that are either super grungy and old. Okay, I love that. Or I love looking at the ones that have a lot of bling and shine to them and really look elegant, you know. And so this is going to be one that started out kind of looking like it was going to be a little bit drab, but it's going to end up being very elegant looking, and it would be a very pleasing gift for someone, or you make one for yourself, or you could sell it on your Etsy shop, you know. And trust me, the ladies who collect these and love them, they like this, because it's been pretty popular for me, this type of journal, the soft cover cloth. They like it, and it's fun to create, you know. When you're done, you really, you know, you feel like you really did something beautiful. I mean, you made something really, really pretty, and that's always fun. Okay, so now we've got that piece laid on. I'm working on this front first, and then I'll kind of know what I want to do to the back. All right, so now we're gonna start looking at adding these little guys, and these guys here, I'm hoping to fit them into the picture. I love working with those. They're so pretty, and they just look so feminine, and you know, I love adding them to stuff. I was thinking about what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I want to put something right in the center, or if, and this is, I'm not 100% on this yet. I'm just deciding if I want to utilize it or not. Let's see. These little guys really, they add a lot. These also are another one, and these are very pretty on pretty much anything that you put them on. I had one over here, and I'm looking for it, that already had some ink on it, and I was going to show you, because it actually had that color of ink, and now I'm not seeing it. It's gotten buried in my goodies over here, but these look very pretty. These make a beautiful edge, like this. And they take the ink really well, and the little pearls, you know, change colors, and so then you have that pearlescent look. Let's see here, I'll do one for you so you can see it. It's probably going to make me want to put it on here. So like this, I just take it and run it over very, very lightly over the top. I don't do the whole thing. I don't touch the lace or anything. But see how pretty that is? And then how pretty that would look there. So, get a... Alright, that might actually, let's see here. See, I told you. Oh, I've only got enough for this side. I'm almost out of it, so it might not be bad though to not have it on the back, huh? Let's see. Let's just look. We can just play for a minute. I'm not committing to anything yet. But you never know, right? You just never know what's gonna pop. I love how you can sit things down and think it's not gonna work, and then, you know, and you move something just the right way, and bam, you've got it. That's it. And it's like, whoa, that was it all along, you know. So it actually looks kind of pretty there with that flower. And then if I did a couple of pink jewels here. Let me stand up and look at that. I gotta peek at it from above. I agree with Tina. She always says that. And let me look at it. Let me stand up and see what it looks like from above, because that changes it. She's right about that. Let's see here. I will even sometimes, I don't know, let me know in the comments if you guys do something like this. I sometimes will actually take a picture of what I've made, and seeing it from in a picture changes. See, I might do 4 like that. Oh, that looks nice, huh guys? Actually, that looks pretty. I kind of like that. You know what? I think I just might stay with that right there. Uh-huh. Let me just peek one more time at this, because it's pretty too, but I think one thing I want to do is definitely I'm going to commit to laying these flowers out the way I just had them before I forget and move them or something. So again, I'm going to use the hot glue, quickly putting it on there. Be very careful if you're not used to working with the hot glue. I am, and I still burn myself, so please be careful with it. It's so easy to burn yourself with that. Now look at that, I didn't see that, and my little bead is starting to come up. So I'm gonna have to, here's what I do. I just glue it down. And then I'll trim that thread off, you know. But it's glued down and it'll stay. Okay. We have to add because that dried a little bit. Let's make sure. Okay. There we go. And we're going to put this one here. There we go. Around our leaves. Remember, lightly, not too thick. You don't want it to seep through and show and look tacky. But you do want it to be sealed down real well. Okay. There we go on that one. Yeah, it's going to be just a little trail of those, and then I'll put these white flowers around it, and I'll probably put my bling right there by the closure or the front of it there. I did like that, so. Okay. Back and forth we go. Straighten this out, this little guy's. There we go. I hope you guys like it so far. Oh, I did look, I lost one. I lost a bead. Darn it. I told you, those little pearls, they'll fall off and you won't even realize it. Okay, I'm going to show you one of my little tricks here. I'm going to trim this flower that lost its bead off. And I don't know if you remember, but I had one that had its little head had fallen off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fix it so that it, yep, like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that right there, that right there. Is that my pattern? Yes. Okay, just making sure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Here we go. Yep. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and I'll just glue the body of the flower to the other petals. I think we'll be good. You got to trick the system sometimes, you guys. There. See? Perfect. Okay. Now, like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these guys. These guys respond real well to your glue. They glue down very well. So, go ahead and lay that down. Here, put that right there, and in the center of our closure, this one here. I don't worry so much about how thick I put the glue on with these, just because they can handle it. There's so much of your material there that and I think I am going to go ahead and do this on the front. I wouldn't normally. I wonder if I have some of it somewhere. I'm very surprised I don't have more of that. But I am going to darken this here like I was doing here a second ago. Okay. Get my brush and go ahead. And I'm going to darken these flowers. And like I said, you don't have to go hard on them, just lightly to hit those tops of the roses and that pearl so that it changes color. Okay. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about my decisions today on how we're decorating this. It's always, you know, interesting to hear everybody's opinion, you know, about what you would have done. Because I've had people tell me other times what they would have done, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, and next time I remembered and tried that, and it worked really well, and I liked it a lot. We all have, it's so interesting how you can look at the exact same items, the exact same supplies, and see it totally differently, you know, and be like, oh no, I would have done this, and it would be just as good, just different, you know. I mean, yeah, there's times when I do tend to take the hard route with a lot of things. Because of like my just not liking to measure, that can cause me some trouble. And you know, we all have those things where, I probably won't use that one, look, it's kind of torn. But anyway, we all have those areas where we could take an easier route on how we're doing something, and somebody will come along and be like, oh, you could do it this way, and you go, oh my gosh, how did I not see that? So if you guys are watching and you go, Tara, you could do this a lot easier, please let me know. I'd like to know. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay this out flat. And trim that right there. Okay. And again, I'm going to use my glue gun because I just find it a lot easier. It does dry quicker, but I really honestly, I find it easier to just do my glue gun, you know. And that seam there in the middle, the reason I'm going a little fast and a little harder with it is because that seam in the middle is pretty thick. And I've worked with this trim enough to know that it can handle a little more glue. And also I'm doing it fast because I want to make sure and get it on here before it dries. There we go. There's that edging for that part. And now I'm going to determine for sure if I want to do, for one thing, if I want to do the pink little, what are these called again? The little gems? I can't think what they're called. Those there, and then that one. Oh, where did I set it, you guys? It's here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. Right there in the center. Or do we just, I think I want to leave those blank. I don't know. What do you think? I think I want to leave them blank. Yeah, I don't like that. And do I want to use this somewhere? Or should I just, yeah, I think I should let this speak for itself. How about you? I think that looks kind of nice alone. I'm trying to see in the camera what you guys are seeing. I hope it looks okay. I'm gonna commit to it. I'm gonna glue it down. Once I've got it on there, the only way I can change it is if I rip the flower off. And okay, oh, and a little note to you guys, when you do these metal pieces, the glue, hot glue makes the metal really hot, so be careful. Okay, be careful, be prepared to hold it very carefully and firmly, but not so firm that you burn yourself. Okay, there we go. I'm going to pull any, because the glue does seep between these gems. You can't see it that much, but I can see it because I'm close to it here. Okay. Take that off before it has a chance to dry. So one thing I like about the hot glue gun, it does give you that opportunity there for a minute to, I even sometimes get my tweezers and pick things out. But anyway, there's that. Now we're just going to do, we're at 40 minutes right now. We're going to go ahead and do this same thing to the back. I do need to darken. Let's see. I've got, do I have, I should have 2 over here because I only used the 4, right? Where is it? I'm not usually, yes I am. I was going to say I'm not usually this disorganized. Yeah, I am. I'm even worse when I'm by myself. My goodness, sometimes I just have a pile of stuff in front of me. Do you guys do that? And I look over to my, I have this table next to me on my right. It's a small table my husband got me, and I love it. And I work a lot. When I'm not recording, I work a lot on that table. And I always laugh because my desk will be just this pile of everything I've been using. I'm a messy girl when it comes to our crafting. Okay, I cannot find my other flower that I did the ink on. That annoys me because I know that it's here. I didn't want to do a bunch of them. All right, I'll find it as soon as I am done. I will find it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. Do I need to glue anything down? I'll make sure. Yeah, see? Okay. This is what I was talking about, just so you guys know. Right away, it's trying to pull because the strings. So in that case, what I do is I grab my gun and I just very lightly take some glue and push it down. And I don't really do nothing to it. I just let it dry. And then I trim the strings off because once it's glued down, it's on there. Okay? And then I can go back over and begin to, and I'm being gentle with that part because I don't want to mess it up again. Okay. And for the most part, these are, once you've done one end of the thread, it usually stops that running right away for all of them. So, on that particular flower, I'm saying. Okay, so I want 4 for the back, and I did have 1, right? Where'd it go? Now I've lost it. Tara. Goodness sakes. Oh well, I'm just gonna do 4. I'm not gonna worry about it. Once I put everything away and I'm done with the video, I will find everyone and I will figure out where to use them in the journal itself. I don't know if we will end up playing and doing the journal and working on it together or not, but maybe I'll just work on doing some pages out of it since we built the cover, you know, the journal cover together. Maybe once I'm ready to decorate it and put paper in it and stuff, I will work on some ephemera with you or something for fun. Okay. Why don't you let me know in the comments if you'd like that, because I want to do videos that, you know, people are excited about or that they want to do. And I think what I'm seeing is that I hope I don't have very many viewers yet. Of course, I'm still brand new. I've only been on here for about a month, and I've only been doing tutorials for about 2 weeks. There it is. See, I told you. But what I'm seeing a little bit, at least on my channel, is people like procedural. Like everybody really liked the jelly plate, you know. I really like to craft. I don't do a ton of, oh, what do we even call it? You know, media. You know what I mean? Where we do all kinds of stuff. I don't do a lot of that. Mixed media. I do stick more to my junk journaling and what encompasses that. I mean, I could sit down and paint a picture with you guys or something, but I probably never will. My paintings turn out pretty well. However, I was thinking about it earlier. I was watching somebody do watercolor, and I love to work with watercolor, but oh, there, see, I lost one. Darn it. Oh, well, it's good. I've got this. I do tend to find that I get lucky on my paintings. I'm not a professional artist. I am one of those, I'm a person who does it for pleasure, and I've never gotten any training. And I think that's one of the reasons I love junk journaling, because I can make mistakes. It can come out not being perfect to the eye, and it's enjoyable still to look at. You know what I'm saying? And with my paintings, I tend to have one turn out beautiful and then the next one not so much. And you know, because I'm not trained, so I probably will never paint on camera unless it's a little bit of watercolor or something for a junk journal page or something like that. Just because I can't teach anyone anything that way. I don't think I can, at least. Maybe I'll practice and get better, and who knows, but more than likely, no. Now, I did have that other piece that we wanted to lay down. Here it is. I found it. Yay. And I think that's probably the best side. I had trimmed it to fit. Okay, so we're going to go again. We're going to go right up to the edge of that spine and get my glue. And I'm going to do the same thing I did the last time. I'm just going to, oh, well, the glue's not going to cooperate. There we go. I'm going to run that, you know, up the edge here. And like I did before, I'm probably do it about 3 times and then lay it out and pat it down. And then I will do that last couple, because that way I can see where that soft chiffon starts, because I don't want any glue on that part. Okay. And here we go. Get my dry wipe again. Okay, I went a little high. I'm going to bring that down just slightly. I don't want it on the bend. I want it below it, just to the left of it there. Okay, so I want to pull these down just a touch. I don't want them flipping up like they are right now. I want them down. You see what I'm saying, right? And now I'll come back in and do that little bit again. As I said, and as you've seen on the other side, because we are going to lay out the other stuff on top, this part will get sealed down with the hot glue, so we're not going to worry too much about that. And then on this side, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to bring it at an angle, meeting them toward the center there, like that. Okay. Get the glue gun. Run it along the edge, just like before. Lightly, lightly. I'm telling myself, lightly. Don't get carried away. I have a tendency to be heavy-handed with the glue gun sometimes. Are you guys? I don't mean to be, but... And as you can see, I'm avoiding the netting because I don't want the glue to be showing through, just like I had mentioned before. And I'm going to go at the other angle, like I went like this way on this side. I'm doing this way on this side, okay? All right. Now we can just lift that and run it through here. Anywhere there's a spot that's thicker, the the applique. I think I said it right, right? I don't know why I always want to call that word applique. And so if I say it wrong, please forgive me. I do that with some words. There have been words in my life, my daughter's like, Mom, I don't think that's how you say that. When she was younger, and I'd tell her, I've been saying that word my whole life. I think I would know. And turned out she was right, you know. I was raised by I'm originally from Indiana. I believe I mentioned that, but I was raised by some farmers, wonderful, beautiful family, Italian family that were farmers, and they were Northerners, but they talked kind of like Southerners, and like we didn't call cantaloupe. I didn't even know what a cantaloupe was till I moved to Arizona when I was 10 years old. We called it muskmelon. Does anybody else out there know what a muskmelon is? It's a cantaloupe. Yeah, stuff like that. So I say certain words, and my daughter would tease me and be like, Mama, that's not how you say that. So, yeah. And then I worked with attorneys and found out, she was right. There was a lot of words I was probably saying wrong. Well, enough that it was funny. So, I'm sure I'm not the only person out there who says words incorrectly, so I'm not going to feel too bad about it. I'll just correct it as I learn, Every day we learn something new, right? I think that's true. I think it's a good thing. It's super important that we learn something new all the time. Keep our brains active and alive and alert. Ooh, I just burned my thumb. Oh, that hurt. There we go. I got it. I'm good. I'm good. My thumb still works. Okay, here we go, guys. So now we're ready to put down our pretty little mulberry flowers that we have. Oh, I am going to lay out the white ones first because it kind of helped me to guide where I was at with them being there. So I'm going to go ahead and lay them out. And then that way I don't, and I'm going to go the opposite way like I did with the other. So we're going to go that way and then this way. Now on this part, we're not going to have any gem back here, of course. So, just so you know, we're not putting nothing like that on this side. Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, so there we go. That's the back side. Let me get this down. I'm holding these flowers as close to the netting as I can, and that way kind of avoid my fingertips with the glue. Just a little tip there if you're going to be doing this journal and you end up getting any, little flowers to put down. Most of my stuff, I think everything that's here pretty much came from Hobby Lobby. In their, cloth department, they have all those trims and stuff like that. I didn't use anything vintage on the outside of it, so you can purchase these very same items at Hobby Lobby. Or I'm sure you can go online and get them somewhere too. If you have a favorite website you utilize, I use Amazon a ton, but did I do that wrong? No, I did it. I did it right? Okay. Oh, you know what I did? I did do it wrong. I put that the same way. It's okay. Don't matter. They're already glued down. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, I utilize Amazon a ton to the point where they actually sent me a thing the other day asking me if I wanted to review. I don't think they do this with everybody, but they sent me a thing asking me if I wanted to review items beforehand and give my opinion on them and then earn money for it or something. And I haven't responded yet. I'm not sure I really have time to do that. And then also I was kind of like, is there a catch? If anybody else knows anything about that, can you let me know? Because I didn't really seek out any more information about it. I thought it was pretty cool, but and kind of, sad at the same time that I've shopped with them that much. Okay. And now we have this. Now what I do with the spine is I don't put anything on the spine until I have sewn the signatures into my journal. I used to get really excited about my spine. I don't know why. I love spines. I think maybe I'm not the only one out there. I think if I took a poll that I would hear from others that they love spines. I know one of my friends told me about a spine she just did on her journal, and she was so stoked about it that she asked me, should somebody find this much joy about a spine? And I said, yes, they should. She's probably listening to me right now. And, I think that, yes, we should find that much joy in what we're doing. And so I think that's okay, But, yeah, so I think there's something missing here. I feel like there should be something else right here on the back of this one just because but I guess not. I guess it's okay. It is the back. It's going to be fine, right? It's good. But what I am going to probably do with this spine, I'm looking over here at some stuff I have, and I'm kind of thinking this would be really pretty. Let's see. I might not be able to because of my flowers I laid down. Yeah. Unless I trimmed it down and then brought it in, you know, and glued it more so that it would fit by itself. But anyway, I was gonna say we could put that and then put more of our flowers, which I don't think you can ever have enough of these roses. I just love these roses. Now they go really well by themselves too. Watch. They just look really pretty, you know. And then we could actually put the little gems if we wanted to. I have another thing. What was I just looking at? Let's see. This is pretty too. Let me check this, because this might be cute. I've got this pin shut. Here. Look at that. That's pretty. So we have some options here. We could utilize that one we were talking about putting on the front as a spine cover, like this. Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, I like that. Or do you guys think that's too much? Too much? Let me know in the comments, because we're not going to do this part yet anyway, so I'm still gonna, like I said, I'm gonna let this dry, and I am going to decide if I want to actually finish it with you guys, like as a full-time, you know, maybe once a week. I'll work on it in between, and maybe once a week come on and do a page or do some ephemera for it or whatever, and then do the spine with you guys. Or maybe it's possible I might just wait, finish it off, and then once I'm ready to do the spine, do a video on that. Why don't you guys let me know, anybody who's watching and who's interested in commenting. But here's how this will look when it's done. We'll be tying it here. I really am glad I remembered that I had this chiffon type lace. I like it a lot. We're going to tie that. Okay. So that'll be our, isn't that pretty? It's cute, right? I like it. I like it a lot. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. I appreciate you sticking with me. I appreciate your company. It's fun to have someone to talk to and bounce ideas off of. And I hope that if you enjoyed this video, you will hit like, and that if you've enjoyed spending time with me and crafting with me, that you'd subscribe to my channel. It'd be awesome to hang out with you some more. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.